In a time long forgotten, when the earth was young but humanity had grown old in wickedness, darkness moved across the world like a storm cloud that refused to lift. People lived as if God did not see, did not hear, and did not care. Violence filled the land, corruption walked proudly in daylight. Hearts grew cold. Truth disappeared beneath selfishness. It seemed as if goodness had vanished from the earth altogether. But one man still walked with God. His name was Noah. In a generation that took sin lightly, Noah took righteousness seriously. While others ignored the Creator, Noah listened. While others followed their desires, Noah followed God's voice. His life was a quiet protest against the evil around him, a single flame glowing in a world that had forgotten light. One day, that flame became the foundation for something extraordinary. God spoke to Noah and revealed a judgment the world could not imagine. A great flood was coming. One so vast it would erase everything built on violence and deception. But woven within the warning was mercy. Noah and his family would be saved, and through them, life would begin again. The command was simple in instruction, but monumental in size. Build an ark, not a canoe, not a fishing boat, but a vessel large enough to shelter 2 of every creature and carry Noah's entire family. Heaven provided the design. Noah provided the obedience. Day after day, Noah gathered wood, cut beams, and shaped a future no one else could see. The sound of hammering echoed through a world too distracted to understand its meaning. People stopped to watch the strange construction. They laughed, they mocked, they dismissed Noah as foolish, delusional, overly spiritual. What kind of madness is this? They asked. No ocean nearby, no storm in sight, no reason to believe. But faith does not wait for evidence. It builds on God's word. Noah kept working. He built the ark as an act of worship, as a declaration that he trusted God more than he feared the opinions of men. Then something impossible happened. Something no human could orchestrate. Animals began to arrive. 2 by 2, they came from hills and forests, deserts and plains. Lions walked beside oxen, doves perched near wolves. Tall giraffes lowered their necks to enter the ark. Creation obeyed the Creator, even while people ignored him. Still, the world refused to listen. When the last creature stepped inside, Noah and his family entered the ark as well. And then, in a moment filled with divine finality, God himself shut the door. It was mercy sealing the faithful in safety. It was judgment closing the chapter on corruption. The first raindrop fell small, almost gentle, then another and another. The sky darkened, the wind rose, the ground trembled, waters burst from the deep, rivers overflowed. Lightning tore the sky open as if heaven was grieving. Rain poured in sheets, heavy and relentless. The world that mocked Noah now cried for escape. But the door God closed could not be opened by human hands. Judgment had begun. Inside the ark, the storm raged, but it could not touch Noah. The same waters that destroyed the world lifted the ark higher. Faith carried him where fear could not go. For 40 days and 40 nights, the rain continued. Mountains disappeared beneath the waves. The entire earth became an endless sea. Then as suddenly as it began, the rain stopped, silence fell. The world was washed clean. The ark drifted across the waters, guided by the unseen hand of God. Noah waited patiently. Obedience had carried him into the ark. Patience would carry him out. He sent a raven, then a dove. Days passed, weeks passed. Finally, the dove returned with an olive leaf. Small, simple, but powerful life had resurfaced. When the waters fully receded and God told Noah to leave the ark, the world was quiet, and new Noah stepped onto fresh ground and worshipped. His first act was not to celebrate survival, but to honor the God who had preserved him. Then heaven painted a promise across the sky, a rainbow, a covenant of mercy, a reminder that storms have limits, judgment has boundaries, and God's love has no end. Noah learned what every believer must learn. When you trust God, you survive storms that destroy others. When you obey God, you build what will save you in seasons you cannot yet see. When you walk with God, even floods become bridges to a new beginning. The great flood ended the world as it was, but through Noah, God started the world as it could be. Renewed, restored, redeemed.